Perfect setup, of course, again by Jerry Sandusky, because we are joined now by Governor Wes Moore on the mic with us here on the set. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. Happy Preakness Day.
Happy
Wonderful to be
Preakness.
with you. You have literally been with us from the start.
Yes.
If anybody was not with us, it was Governor Moore who did the voiceover to the open of our show today.
That was terrific. We thank you for that. All right, so big week. You signed a bill this week that would essentially rebuild and reimagine Pimlico. What does that mean to you, and what do you feel it will look like and mean to this community?
I mean, this it's legendary, and honestly, it's historic, because what this bill is going to do, it means that Preakness is going to be in Baltimore. It's not going anywhere. That we've just locked this in for a long-term deal for generations to come. But also, you know, we're very clear, even with the same thing with the Orioles. For the Orioles deal, where we said we want to create winners on and off the field, with Pimlico Plus, we're creating winners on and off the track. Because it's both about how we're going to revitalize this area, how we're going to make sure that this is going to be the world-class track for an industry that's incredibly important. I mean, this industry, the equine industry, is 25% of our agricultural economy here in the state of Maryland. But also, it's about creating winners off of the track. This is a legendary deal for Park Heights. And the thing that we continue to see oftentimes is when we've had the future of Preakness being decided, Park Heights was not part of that conversation. This is the first deal where Park Heights is at the forefront of the conversation, and that just, it completely fills my heart with excitement and joy.
When you look around the country at cities that have created revolutionary change in neighborhoods, it starts with a facility, whether that's an arena, a stadium, in this case a racetrack, but it quickly moves out because you have restaurants, you have hotels. How do you incorporate exterior investment into the Park Heights area along with the state's investment in the track?
Well, the first thing you had to do is you had to lock in that anchor. You know, very similar to what happened with the Orioles. You have to have the anchor there because the business community needs predictability. No one is going to invest in an area if they feel like the anchor could leave. And so lock in the asset for a long period of time, as we've just done with Pimlico and the Pimlico Plus deal. And now you're able to invite all the other commerce and all the other industries to come on board. The restaurants, the hotels, the small businesses, the people who are there to both entertain, but also the people who are there to sustain. And so we think this is going to have a generational economic impact, not just on Park Heights, but all the other areas that surround it as well, to know that this was a core focus for the state of Maryland.
Governor, it's a tall order, and you know, and we asked you last year, Jerry and I have been here before in this, and I mean, I know that obviously you signed the legislation this week, but there still is, I think, on the part of citizens who have heard us talk about this so many times, there's still this sense of incredulousness, right? Like, is this really going to happen this time? You say 100%. No question, this is going to happen. There will be a new Pimlico.
There will be a new Pimlico, and honestly, for people who are frustrated or cynical, I hear you, because I was one of those people as well. Because we've seen this for so long. We've seen the thing that we thought was going to be the great deal not come to fruition. We've seen short-term deals being cut in the hope that maybe one day a long-term deal could be cut. That's not this deal. This deal that we signed, this deal that we've been working months on negotiating, actually locks in the Preakness for years, for generations to come, but also actually has a framework for partnership, actually has the framework to bring in the private sector, the framework to bring in small businesses and the community, actually provides the state incentives to be able to have leveraged capital. That's the thing that we know is going to actually present the plan. So this isn't just about a bill signing. There's a plan to this, and that's why I think Pimlico Plus is so exciting for people.
You've been on both sides of the fence, a politician, but also a businessman.
Yeah.
And we've seen business ventures by cities and states fail in the past.
Yes.
What's the key to make sure this one succeeds, since it is the state that will drive it?
It's going to be transparency. And you're absolutely right. I mean, I've been an elected official for 16 months. I was a business guy for a lot longer than that. And the thing that I know when I was running a business, what I wanted more than anything else was predictability. If you can tell me what it's going to look like, what the rules are, what the regulations are, what the permitting is, what the financing is going to look like, I can create a business model based on that. The problem is we never had that predictability, and we were far too easy to get away with short-term deals. Well, the days of short-term deals are done, and that's the thing I really wanted to show in bringing a new type of mindset, a data-driven mindset in the way we do governance, to say that if we can lock in assets to serve as anchors, you can actually build an ecosystem that supports businesses, that supports workers, that supports entrepreneurship, and provides something that's going to give a measure of growth for the equine industry, which is really important to us.
Governor,
And
before
gentrifies the neighborhood.
No,
That's exactly-
sorry about that, Governor. Before we let you go, we understand there is some news to make here when it comes to the Key Bridge and the clearing of the channel. What can you share with us?
I tell you, I mean, I'm so proud of this team and proud of this state. 7 weeks ago, this state was knocked down. This city was knocked down when you saw one of the core arteries that was taken out in a moment's notice when we lost 6 Marylanders that day. We're proud that we've been able to recover the bodies of the 6 Marylanders and return them to their families. But I remember that morning, people said this could take 6-9 months just to reopen the channel, because we had this vessel that was the size of 3 football fields with 4 tons of steel sitting on top of it. And now, because of the hard work of Unified Command, the 24/7 work, we now know that we are probably days away from being able to remove the dolly from the middle of the Patapsco River, which is going to open up the pathway to be able to have a full federal channel reopening, not just on time, but hopefully even earlier than that end of May date, which would be spectacular.
All right,
Governor, you get a chance to
Thank
feel
you,
like
Governor.
a winner before they've even run the race. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much for being
Thank you,
with
Governor
us.
Moore.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Happy
much.
Preakness, guys.
All right,
Thank
throw
you.
it to break for us, Governor.
That's right. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. Happy Preakness Day. Go Park Heights, and we'll see you right after the break.